Tell us about the worst experience you have had in working as part of a team, either at school or work. Start by describing the situation.
It has to be at school or work.
Yeah, either at school or work.
Okay. Well, so this isn't on my resume because it doesn't fit into a lot of jobs, but I used to. It was essentially a camp counselor, but if you guys have ever heard of Outward Bound,
Yeah.
you take a combination of kids who really like nature and at-risk kids into the wild for between 21 and 30 days. And they basically learn how to survive with a backpack full of stuff. So during one of the trips, one of the girls like broke her ankle so bad, and we were probably at least 5 miles away from the closest dirt road, like dirt, like an ATV could probably get up this road. So we had to carry her back. That was probably the worst team experience I've ever seen. It was like 2 a.m. and people are yelling at each other, like dropping hard F-bombs, like just go. Like there's kids crying that don't have broken ankles that we're telling to just walk. It was probably one of the worst times of my life.
I know that you mentioned that the girl broke her ankle, but what other encounters did you face?
Just being the counselor when everyone's like kind of freaking out about, like they don't like to use the word counselor. I was like a guide, but you're basically a camp counselor in the middle of the wild. Being like in charge of those kids freaking out, especially like the little, she was probably 90 pounds and like just really upset in the middle of nowhere. Nothing, like we can't give her anything, and she's gonna like walk on somebody's shoulders for like 5 miles with a broken ankle. So like it's rough going, you know what I mean? You're not on a stretcher. So she's not the only one complaining, so it was just a lot of bad vibes.
So how did you deal with these problems, you being the counselor?
In hindsight, probably not my best, but like just put your pack on and start walking. Like, I just told him to walk. I would yell at him.
So were the problems satisfactorily resolved?
Did the problem get resolved? I mean, yeah, the girl had to leave. We just walked her back to the road and called a chopper, and she got hella backed out for like $20,000.
So looking back, can you think of a better way that you could have handled the situation?
Well, from that point on, I was always trying to make it like a fair distribution of weight in everyone's packs.
Yeah.
And like, of course, a bigger person's going to carry a little more, but I try to make it equal. Then I stopped doing that. I physically did a calculation where like you carry 20%, like you do a certain number of your weight, which makes it a little bit better for people that are smaller. A lot harder for people that are heavier, but
yeah,
you'll lose some weight.
Yeah. So moving forward to a more job-focused question, are you willing to relocate?
For a job,
Yes.
I would be willing to travel extensively for a job. I probably would not be willing to relocate, just because I love Philly. Probably won't leave.
Okay, that's understandable. Is there anything else that you would like to tell us about yourself that relates to your ability to perform this job?
No, I think I already mentioned my 10 out of 10 ability in pep talking, so I think I'm a good team leader, and I have good listening abilities to people that I'm leading. I at least think so, I've been told. Yeah, that's about it.
I want to go back to the Outward Bound. So, were you who was all like the leaders, like camp?
So originally, it's kind of a long story. My brother was like one of the kids that got in trouble, sent there. My parents were like, "Ooh, that sounds like he did not like that. Let's send you on it." I really liked it. I was like the kid who didn't get in trouble and got sent on it, and was like in front of the group running up the mountain, like, "Yo, this is awesome! Like, we're going rock climbing tomorrow." Like, I loved it. And so they offered me a position as a junior camp assistant or junior group advisor or group leader. So I did that for probably 2.5 summers.
Okay.
So that was, it's basically a team of it's a group of 8 to 10, maybe max out 12, 13. It can be kids, it can be, I had one group that was veterans, like ex-veterans. They like wanted to go back and just kind of get back into nature. But a lot of times it's like kids under the age of 18 who have very little experience, and then it's always 3 to 1. So depending on how many counselors there has to be at least one main non-assistant, and then 3 to 1 it can be assistants. So normally it would be another 2, 3 guy or girl team leaders with me, and we would all share the tent, and then all the kids would be in tarps or whatever.
Okay. So do you have any questions for us?
About the job or the company?
Probably, what would my day-to-day be?
So, let me just explain a little bit about the company then for you. So, department managers generally supervise about 10 employees, whom are mostly high school graduates and college students. It will be a 5-day week, including every other weekend. The position starts at a salary of $40,000 to $50,000, just depending on the extent of your previous experience. And you're also eligible for raises. There'll be a 12-week training program to learn the specifics about the managing at Walmart. And yeah, does that really answer your question?
Yep, that answers them.
And then I wanted to just do a little disclosure. We do thank you for telling us about your disability, but please know that will have no bar on our decision and our hiring process.
The dyslexia.
All right, yeah, good call. Totally forgot about that.
Alright, we appreciate it so much. No other questions for us?
Nope, I'm all set.
Alright,
We will contact
thank you
you
so much.
no later than Monday, the 26th.
Cool.
Alright,
Sounds
nice
good.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. Good luck.
Nice meeting you as well.
Great to meet you guys. Thank you again.
Yes.
Thank you.